In the summer of 1996, America was supposed to be celebrating. The Olympics had come to Atlanta, Georgia, a symbol of global unity, peace, and human achievement. The city buzzed with energy. Concerts, parades, global coverage, a world spotlight shining bright. But just days in, that light began to fade. Because on the night of July 27th, the celebration turned into chaos. And at the heart of it all stood a man named Richard Jewell. Richard wasn't famous. He wasn't rich. He was a 33-year-old security guard working long shifts at Centennial Park. To most, he blended into the background. Heavy-set, polite, obsessed with law enforcement. The kind of man who took his job more seriously than anyone expected. Some mocked him for that, but it's that very obsession that saved lives. That night, Jewell spotted an unattended green backpack beneath a bench near a concert stage. He alerted a nearby officer. They called in the bomb squad. Minutes passed. The crowd danced. The music played. And then, confirmation. It was a bomb. A homemade device packed with nails and screws. Designed to kill, designed to terrorize. Jewell and other officers began clearing the area, rushing to push people back, yelling for evacuation. And then it detonated. A powerful blast. Screams, smoke, panic. One woman died. Over 100 people were injured. But without Richard Jewell's warning, that number could have been far worse. He was hailed as a hero, a man who saved lives. His name spread across every news station in the country. For 3 days, Richard Jewell was a symbol of bravery, and then everything changed. The FBI, under immense pressure to find a suspect, turned their focus inward. They believed Jewell matched the profile of a hero bomber, someone who plants an explosive, then discovers it, just to appear as a savior. No hard evidence, no eyewitnesses, just a theory, a profile, and that was enough. The media swarmed. The story flipped overnight, from hero to suspect. Headlines called him a wannabe cop. Talk shows speculated about his mental health. News vans circled his mother's apartment like vultures. Every detail of his life, his job history, his weight, his personality, became ammunition. He was mocked, he was doubted, he was vilified, and he was never even arrested. For 88 days, Richard Jewell lived under suspicion. Watched, interrogated, followed. The FBI searched his home, confiscated his belongings, treated him like a criminal. He became a national punchline, and he had done nothing wrong. Eventually, the investigation collapsed. There was no case, no motive, no evidence, and no apology. The FBI formally cleared Jewell, but the damage was done. He lost job offers. He lost peace. He lost trust in the system he once admired. He later won settlements from news outlets. But what he never got was his dignity, fully restored. In 2005, and nearly a decade later, the truth finally emerged. Eric Robert Rudolph, an anti-government extremist, confessed to the bombing. He had also bombed abortion clinics and a nightclub. He was the real criminal. He was the real terrorist. But by then, Jewell had already paid a heavy price. In 2007, just 11 years after the bombing, Richard Jewell died of heart failure at the age of 44. His health had deteriorated. His spirit had been bruised. And though he never gave up, the scars were permanent. Richard Jewell's story is not just a tale of mistaken identity. It's a warning about the rush to judgment, about media frenzy, about what happens when a narrative becomes more important than the truth. He was never the villain, and he was more than a hero. He was a man who did the right thing and suffered for it. So let us remember him not as a headline, not as a suspect, but as a man who saw danger and ran toward it. Richard Jewell, an ordinary man with extraordinary courage.